The BCM RECCE. This is their 16-inch model. And BCM makes arguably one of the best AR-15s on the market. One of the things that I love about BCM is that they show you all the specs, all the materials, everything they do with all their parts. And for some reason, that's something that's really lacking in the AR-15 industry. You know, you can go to different websites and you don't really know exactly what you're getting. But I'll tell you, with the BCM, you know what you're getting because they're very proud of what they do. Here's the key about BCM. They make the barrels, they make the bolt carrier groups, they make the upper, they make the lower. They produce these parts and the Gunfighter series of accessories. This company, they know what they're doing. And Paul Buffoni, who is the CEO, founder of BCM, which is a veteran U.S. Marine, decided to make firearms that were the best for the gunfighter. And that's one of the reasons why their line of accessories are Gunfighter. In fact, their Gunfighter charging handle, to me, is one of the best on the market, bar none. And I did a whole full review on the Gunfighter, and I'll have it annotated when I talk about the different parts. Now, one of the things, I've had this rifle for probably about 6 months, and I have shot about 700 rounds through it, and I love it. This has become my very favorite AR-15 rifle. One of the reasons why is because of the weight. It only weighs 6.5 pounds, as you see it, minus the magazine, which the magazine is pretty lightweight. It does come with two 30-round magazines, but everything else on here is BCM made, and they'll tell you exactly why they make it. Now, BCM is a government contractor. They make AR-15s and M16s for the U.S. government, or M4s. So they have to have really high standards to be able to do that in the first place. So when they say Mil-Spec, it is really, truly Mil-Spec. Of course, first thing we're going to do is make sure the gun is unloaded, remove the magazine, pull the bolt back, visually inspect. It is unloaded. Now, moving ahead on the video, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. We're going to get into a lot of specs about this rifle. And whether you want to go with the BCM or another type rifle that you're looking at, whatever rifle you're looking for, listen to what I'm talking about the specs on this rifle, and use that criteria to go against what rifle you're purchasing. And I think you'll find that you're going to look for the qualities that go into this rifle are the qualities you should have in an AR-15, whether it's the barrel, bolt carrier group, upper and lower receiver, and these parts. Again, the bolt carrier and the rifle with the chamber, that is your most critical part of your AR-15. It is the heart of the rifle. That's where you need to spend your money. Now, speaking of government specs, we're going to look at the specs on this rifle, the quality aspects. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about some of the individual parts you get on the RECCE. BCM produces a whole line of AR-15s from your plain basic AR up to really premium quality AR-15s, whether it's the Travis Haley recommended or the Larry Vickers. I mean, there's a number of different high-profile professionals that go with BCM. I know my buddy Tim over at Military Arms Channel. He loves the BCM rifles. So first off, we have the Kmr Handguard. I have a full review on it. I'm going to have it annotated right here for you to click on it if you want the specifics. But it's also the installation. It is one of the lightest weight handguards on the market. And when I say one of, it is the lightest. It features a very unique locking system that's very secure. It has to do a lot with the harmonics of the barrel. And also it has the key mod. It is a free float handguard, and it's just very well done. Of course, this is in the bronze finish, which the dark bronze is one of the options for the RECCE. I just thought it was beautiful with the black accents on it. It's very thin and just exceptionally easy to carry. In fact, the entire rifle only weighs 6.5 pounds, and so that really brings the weight down. Of course, it's got Picatinny rail all along the top, and then where you want to add Picatinny, of course, you can do that with the key mod. And there are actually 7 attachment angles for your key mod. 3 on the sides, 1 on the bottom. Now, according to the website, the RECCE comes with the B5 Gunfighter Stock. This is their Mod Zero Gunfighter Stock, and I've done a full review on this stock as well. You know, it looks kind of just very Spartan, and it's real smooth sides. One of the things that I love about this is that it locks up solid, almost like really like a full stock. There is no wobble, there is no movement, and that has a lot to do with their lockup system. So you're really going to get a really solid platform. You know, I've had a lot of, especially the government issue stocks or the standard Mil-Spec stocks. Those things will wobble on your extension receiver tube like crazy. This gives you a solid lockup. Very similar to a fixed stock. Also, it has more of an angle here. Again, I've done a full review on this stock, and I'll have it annotated for you to look at. There's a lot of really cool features, including QD attachment points on either side, rubber butt pad, and this full throttle right here to be able to move this on the stock. It is smooth on the stock as well, but it's tight. It is Mil-Spec. It also has one of the Mod 3 Gunfighter pistol grips. It has the little compartment underneath. It does right up here. It gives you a lot of comfort. Very well done. And there's even a point here. They've placed a little insert right here to take care of that gap that runs between the trigger guard and your finger. And speaking of trigger guards, they also have one of the BCM extended trigger guards on here. One thing that I love too about BCM as we go along is all the parts are marked BCM. And that's one of the things, for some reason, a lot of companies just don't mark their parts. The Gunfighter charging handle, it has been one of the big things that BCM has produced. It's exceptional. There's a lot of things about this that go well beyond your Mil-Spec or many of the other tack latches that go on your charging handle. This is a very important part, especially if you're running optics. You're able to grab this. There's a number of different models. Again, I've done a full review on the different models of the Gunfighter charging handle, and I'll have it annotated, and all the reasons why this is really exceptional. And again, everything is marked right here, BCM Gunfighter. Now the sights are marked BCM, but they're actually made by Troy Industry, and these are very high quality sights. They lift up very well. They're very sturdy. They're all metal, and then on the side there's a button that allows these to be brought back down against the receiver. And here on the front, same thing, really well done. To press the button, bring them down. At first glance, the muzzle brake looks like a standard birdcage, but it's the BCM Gunfighter compensator. And it acts as a flash hider and a compensator as well. You can see the cone that runs in here that diverts gases out of the front. It does relieve a lot of your recoil. But then again, it makes an excellent flash hider as well. It's very lightweight, which falls in line with the 6.5 pounds of the RECCE. But this is a very effective compensator. I have a couple of others on rifles. In fact, I just installed one on a 308 that works fantastic. Now the barrel and bolt carrier group are the heart of your rifle. That is really where you want to make sure that your quality comes into place. Everything else are accessories, but your barrel and your chamber, which is part of your barrel, and the bolt carrier group, really important. BCM knows that, and they produce their own barrels. Now this is a 16-inch, they have different lengths. One of the big things about these barrels is that they are chrome molybdenum, which is government spec. The bore and chamber have been chrome lined as to military specs, which will increase the life of the barrel and also make it easier to clean. But they've also been HPT and MPI tested. HPT is high pressure testing up to 70,000 PSI. That's phenomenal. I mean, this barrel will take whatever you can put through it. And also the MPI is magnetic particle testing, which they do a scan on the barrel to look for any imperfections. And so this is one of the things that's done in the industry for Mil-Spec. But most of your companies, especially the ones that aren't under government contract, they do batch testing. So they'll take 10 barrels, they'll take one out, they'll HPT and MPI test it, and then certify it that way. One of the things about BCM is every barrel has been HPT and MPI tested. That is huge, and it's something you really need to look for. And on the BCM website, all these details are laid out, which is again huge, right there on their website. They're very proud of what they do. It is a 1-in-7 twist with a mid-length gas system. That's going to soften your recoil. It's going to make it really nice. 1-in-7 twist is the most versatile twist rate. You can go with the lower weight bullets or the higher weight. It shoots them both more effectively than your 1-in-9 or your 1-in-12. Now deep inside the Kmr Handguard, we do have our low gas block, and this is a BCM gas block. It's an excellent, very well tested gas block, again in the mid-length system. It's not on the carbine length. That allows the gases to be able to expand out and back in. It's a lot lighter on the recoil as well. The upper and lower receiver, again, are made by BCM. You have all your identification right here, BCM Rifle Company. These are 70-75 T6 aluminum. They're forged, which is industry standard for Mil-Spec. Of course, the fit and finish on these is exceptional as well, and the logo is everywhere. The upper is a T-marked upper receiver. Now let's open up the rifle and take a look at the trigger system. The RECCE has the ALG Defense Combat Trigger. It is a Mil-Spec trigger system. But one of the great things about it, it's been nickel boron coated, which makes it really smooth, but it also hardens the surface. Also, all your contact surfaces have been polished to make it a really smooth trigger pull. It is at Mil-Spec at 6 pounds. So you're going to have a very combat effective trigger. It's going to be smooth, and that's really what you want. The lower receiver also has the lower shelf for the registered auto sear, drop-in auto sears, and it has the lower shelf for the AccuEdge. So they've really put thought into designing this to fit as many needs or combat missions as possible. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove the bolt carrier group and take a look at it. Again, this is a BCM made bolt carrier group. It is the M16, which means it has the shelf that extends right here. The AR-15 will cut off right about here. And really, the AR-15 or M16 was designed around the M16 bolt carrier group or full auto bolt carrier. This is also Mil-Spec as well, and it's very important. I really prefer M16 bolt carrier group. Of course, you can use the AR-15 bolt carriers fine, but this gives you a little more better balance and with that little extra weight. Now here we have the bolt carrier group disassembled. The bolt is the Mil-Spec Carpenter 158 steel. It has been HPT and MPI tested as the barrel, but it's also been shot peen tested, which means that they take small amounts of shot, hardened shot, and they just bombard the surface of the bolt. And what this does, it hardens the surface. So it's a Mil-Spec quality, and it's something that a lot of companies don't necessarily do. The interior of the bolt carrier has been chrome lined, and so has the interior of the gas tube. The gas key has been properly staked as to military specs, plus they use the grade 8 fasteners. One of the things about your gas key is, and I've seen it done a number of times, is if these aren't properly staked, the gas key itself can become loose and it can actually break off. Then that you have a single shot rifle. Also, the gas key has been hardened to USGI specs. It does have the M4 feed ramps right here that helps with reliability. They're also cut into the upper receiver right here. Now the buffer tube is 70-75 T6 aluminum, which is excellent. And then you have your castle nut that has been staked, properly staked. This is going to keep the castle nut from turning. And that's really the proper way to do it for Mil-Spec. They also use the USGI tungsten buffer. And the extension receiver tube is Mil-Spec. The USGI Mil-Spec parts and the tolerances and the things that are done to this rifle are done with all of BCM products, all their rifles. All the accessories that are added to the RECCE, of course, that varies, but the same time and the same manufacturing processes that go into making this a Mil-Spec rifle also go into their parts and accessories, period. You know, I'm not just blowing smoke, because BCM has really made a huge reputation in the industry. But one of the things I'd really like to bring out about Bravo Company Manufacturing, or BCM, is that on the homepage of Bravo Company USA, they list the Second Amendment, have it written out. Then below that, it says that any restrictions a state or government puts on their citizens, they will not sell those restricted parts to law enforcement or government agencies within that state. That is massive, because they believe in the Second Amendment that much. Paul Buffoni is the real deal. He loves this country, and he's making these to fit the gunfighter, the warfighter. And he believes in the citizens of the United States as well. I find that very comforting, and I just really think that BCM is standing behind our rights. Now for the big question of the day, how much does the RECCE run? The RECCE on the BCM Bravo Company Manufacturing website runs $1,450. There are other sites that do carry the RECCE, and some of them for less. around the $1,350 to $1,400 range. Now let me talk about this for a minute, because it's really important to understand. I've gone through all the quality, all the different specifications, the certifications that go into this rifle. You know, you can go to Palmetto State Armory and pick up an AR-15 for under $600. But let me just say this, that's great for a beginning rifle. But one of the things that Paul Buffoni at BCM, his mission is to make a gunfighter rifle, one for professionals. If you're ever going to need this rifle for home defense, national defense, whatever you're doing in a real life situation, I really recommend going with something that is top notch. Having an excellent Mil-Spec, all the different features that you're getting with something like this is worth the money. Yeah, I recommend going out and buying a standard base rifle and shooting the fire out of it, going to the range. But if you're doing a lot of competitive shooting, if you're doing a lot of self-defense classes, you know, again, if you're going to have something for home defense, this is the rifle that I'm grabbing. And that is the thing about BCM, is you can put the confidence in their products, because, you know, I've shown you. And they certify and attest to all the things that I've shown. You know, I'm not just trying to talk great about this rifle, except that the features on this rifle are great, and they stand behind it. Again, I'll have it listed down below, all the different reviews that I've done on the parts and accessories on the BCM rifle, and you can just go down to the description and click on those. There'll be live links. Also, make sure you go by my Instagram account at Such_00. I have the link down below, and my Facebook page at Such00 Fun Gun Reviews Facebook page. There's a lot of things that I post, a lot of pictures, a lot of articles, and different things that we do that we don't do on the Such channel. The BCM Recce, and for that matter, all the BCM parts, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Features one of the Mod 4, it's not Mod 4, it's Mod 3. 4, it has the larger latch right here. Okay, that's not a large latch. Let's go ahead and remove the bolt carrier. We're going to take a look at it. The bolt carrier group.
Sighted in right at the factory, baby. Iron sights.
Can't beat that. Where's the safety? Not bad.
I like that. I like that steel out there. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.